All right, in this section you should watch a quick video on African kingdoms. It's 5 powerful kingdoms to know. And then we're going to read this information about the 3 West African city-states that we're going to focus on. Now that we've watched that video, I want you to read this article below, which includes a brief introduction of the 3 West African kingdoms that we're going to be studying this week. And as you read, you're going to notice that there are questions that you need to respond to. I want you to pay attention to the question requirements, as some of will require you to pull text evidence, contextual evidence from your previous work, or some language analysis. So this article is titled The History of Africa During the Time of the Great West African Kingdoms. It comes from History of Africa, from Exploring Africa, Michigan State University. You can access it there if you would like more information on it. If you need a more visual representation of this, you can click on this timeline. Takes you to Cultures of West Africa. You will also use this for the Stretch It event, Stretch It activity, if you are interested in doing that. It's being very slow. Okay. So you can see down here, it has timelines of West African regions, so 0 to 300 AD. We're actually going to use the abbreviation CE. AD is just kind of antiquated, so we're not going to use that. But then it gives you a blurb about who the Nuke were. We are focusing our attention where is it? There it is. Starting in 700 CE, the rise of the Ghanaian Empire, or the Ghana Empire. So you would, if you wanted more information, read through this, and you can continue to click through it. Notice that there are the modern day political boundaries, but they did not exist at the time. So the Kingdom of Ghana, we're back in the text and we're reading about the Kingdom of Ghana. It is generally given the dates 9th to the 13th century CE by historians. It marks the beginning of a series of empires in West Africa that were involved in extensive commercial trade. You should note that the area of the Kingdom of Ghana, its time period, is further north than the present-day country of Ghana. So while there is a country called Ghana now, it is the Kingdom of Ghana is further north than modern day Ghana is. It does get its name from these people, however. So some have called the Kingdom of Ghana the Land of Gold, which is an excellent description since it was abounding in gold. The gold trade was largely responsible for the development of Ghana in a powerful, centralized kingdom. So that means that they have a very powerful organized system of government. So somebody at the top, and it was a very clear hierarchy of power. The peoples of West Africa had independently developed their own gold mining techniques and began trading with people of other regions of Africa and later Europe as well. At the time of the Kingdom of Ghana, gold was traded for salt that came down from the Sahara Desert. Both were used as a form of currency to buy, sell, and trade with. So why do you think gold and salt had such power and value in Ghana's society? So you would answer that question there. Number 2, how does Ghana trading gold and salt increase its power? So Ghana was trading gold and salt, and it increased its power, or trading gold for salt increased its power. What do we know about salt? What do we know about gold? And then number 3, what potential problems might arise from having control of valuable and desired items like gold and salt? Why would this be? So some potential problems that arose from having the control of these were, why would that even happen? In addition to the gold trade, historians have pointed to a second important factor in the development of these West African kingdoms. This was the use of iron. The use of iron to make tools and weapons helped some people to expand their control over neighboring people. These changes called for new forms of social organization, contributing to the development of centralized, powerful empires. Historians also say that the use of the horse and camel, along with iron, were important factors of how rulers were able to incorporate small farmers and herders into their empires. The Ghanaian kings controlled the gold that was mined in their kingdom and implemented a system of taxation for their people. Around 1054, the Almoravid rulers came south to conquer the kingdom of Ghana and convert the people to Islam. The authority of the king eventually diminished, which opened the way for the kingdom of Mali to gain power. The trade that had begun, however, continued to prosper. So using your background knowledge, what factors contributed to the decline and diminishing power of the king? What about it made it so that the king lost his power? All right, two important sources that told historians about the history of the Kingdom of Ghana were the writings of Spanish Muslim named al-Bakiri and archaeological finds. The archaeologists have worked at extracting a site that many believe to be one of the king's cities in the Kingdom of Ghana, Kumbi Saleh. All right, I want you to stop, go to the pear deck. And summarize two facts that you know about Ghana. Or summarize what you know, giving two facts about what you know about Ghana. And then come back. The Kingdom of Mali. Take another look at this map. What do you notice about the relationship of Ghana and Mali? So we see Ghana, then we see Mali. The Kingdom of Mali includes all of Ghana plus a lot more territory. During its time, Mali was the second largest empire in the world, only after the Mongolian Empire in Asia. The dates that historians have designated for the Kingdom of Mali are from the 13th to 15th century CE. The Kingdom of Mali came to control the gold trade that the Kingdom of Ghana had controlled before it, but it also expanded its trading in many ways. The Kingdom of Mali controlled the salt trade in the north and many caravan trade routes. Additionally, it traded extensively with Egypt and the groups which controlled the copper mine areas to the east. The founder and first ruler of the Kingdom of Mali was Sundiata Keita. We know about him through the writings of the 14th century North African historian named Ibn Khaldun. Sundiata expanded the kingdom to include the Kingdom of Ghana and most of the gold fields in West Africa. Question 5 is asking you to use your historic knowledge of trade, power, resources, and conflict. What do you think contributed to Mali's expanding beyond the borders of Ghana? So you're picking two of these things to discuss. So if you're going to talk about trade, how did that expand their power and territory? Resources, gold and salt, how did that expand their power and territory? Conflict, and if there's anything else that you want to add. The most celebrated king of Mali was Mansa Musa. He greatly extended Mali's territory and power during his reign. He made a name for himself in distant regions throughout the Muslim world through his pilgrimage to Mecca, the Hajj, which is in present-day Saudi Arabia. 60,000 people and 80 camels carrying 300 pounds of gold each accompanied him to Mecca. Some great centers of Islamic learning were also established during the Kingdom of Mali. Among them were the legendary Timbuktu, Jain, and Gao. Scholars came from all over the Muslim world to study in these places, which have a long and rich history of learning in religion, mathematics, music, law, and literature. Although many people in Mali maintained their indigenous religions during this time, Islam was becoming well established throughout the kingdom as more and more travelers moved through this region. Question 6. What led to the introduction of Islam to African countries? What was it that brought Islam to Africa? Number 7, Islam spread further throughout Africa during the Islamic Crusades. That's just a fact. When a country or kingdom adopts another religion or culture, it's an example of a gain. Is that an example of a gain or a loss of power, and why? So if you're adopting another religion through force or any other means, is that an example of gain or loss of power? Is the spread of Islam an example of cultural diffusion? Why or why not? Now I want you to go and summarize Mali on the pear deck. the Kingdom of Songhai. Now take a look back at the map of Africa's empires and kingdoms. You will see that the Kingdom of Songhai encompassed part of the Kingdom of Mali, as well as lands beyond to the east and to the north. So the Songhai Empire is this dotted line. The dates of the Kingdom of Songhai partly overlap with those of Mali, although the information that follows will reveal at what point Songhai gained control over certain portions of the Old Kingdom of Mali. The dates of the Kingdom of Songhai are between 1350 and 1600 CE. The exact origins of the Kingdom of Songhai are not clear to historians, although there are records of King Kosi accepting Islam before 1009 CE. This began as integration of commerce and religion to gain and maintain power that could continue throughout the history of the Kingdom of Songhai. Islam became a unifying force for the people and an important factor for maintaining state power. So does a central or unifying religion like Islam contribute to a rise or decline in power? Why? Now I want you to challenge yourself and justify the opposite. So if you chose that it contributes to a rise in power, then defend the decline, and vice versa. Number 10, use the context clues to help you define commerce as it's used in the above paragraph. So what does commerce mean? If you are struggling, I highly suggest you use the Learner's Dictionary, which gives a little bit more student-friendly vocabulary definition. The first of the two great rulers of the Kingdom of Songhai were Soni Ali. He came to power in 1464 CE and made Songhai perhaps the most powerful state in the western Central Africa at the time. He seized Timbuktu and Jean, which had been parts of the Kingdom of Mali. These, as well as the capital of Gao, continued to be important centers of learning and commerce. Soni Ali was not a devout Muslim himself, but was sympathetic to indigenous religious practices. Most of all, he was concerned about his own ambitions to build a great empire. His successor was Muhammad Askia, who came to power in 1493 CE. He expanded the kingdom even further and set up an even more advanced and strongly centralized government. He developed a new system of laws, expanded the military, and encouraged scholarship and learning. Unlike Soni Ali, he was a devout Muslim who used the combination of Islam and commerce to build his kingdom. He brought peace and stability to the kingdom during his reign. The Kingdom of Songhai came to an end when the Moroccans, a North African nation and society, invaded and conquered them. By 1600 CE, the days of the great kingdoms of West Africa declined. We know that Islam was not a native religion for many African kingdoms, empires, or people. How did the spread of Islam impact African people, language, and culture? It's like, how does getting a new religion impact people, religion, and culture? What similarities in political rule exist between Ghana, Mali, and Songhai? So what governmental structures do they have? And what is the impact on people of a similar form of political power between kingdoms? So how does having a similar system of governmental organization help a kingdom? Or hurt a kingdom? You get to pick. Now I want you to go and summarize Songhai on the Pear Deck. And then come back.